So after returning home from your classes, you would like to have your lunch. You might like to take a shower and take some rest. So I think from 2 to 3 p.m. you would like to do these things. Okay, and after that from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. You would like to do some light works, not heavy works. Some people have the habit of taking a short nap, so you can take a nap at that time, or you can read newspapers if you don't like to take nap at daytime. You can read books if you are a book lover, read some fiction, or you can watch dramas or movies if you are drama lover or movie lover, or you can simply listen to some audio books. Okay, uh, or if you are a very serious student, you can study at that time as well. But I will suggest you to study from 4 p.m. to 5 or 5:30 p.m. This 1.5 hours will benefit you, because if you like to study till midnight or late night, then you cannot give your full concentration for such a long time. For 5 to 6 hours your brain cannot give full concentration. So if you study for an hour or 1.5 hour in the evening or in the afternoon, then it will be great. And then you can have your sports or evening walk or socializing from maybe 5:30 to 6:30. You can do these things. If you like to play, you can go, you can play with your friends, or you can socialize, you can take evening walk, or if you like, you can do some physical exercise at that time as well. And what should you do in the evening ideally? I would say that you should study, okay, from 6:30 to 9:30. These 3 hours are a very good time for study, and I would suggest you to switch off all the distracting apps on your phone, or maybe you can switch off your phone so that nobody can disturb you, and you have to study with full concentration. Just try to study with full concentration, and if anyone is talking in your room or watching TV or watching something on their computer, then please tell them that turn off your volume, uh, or you can find a very quiet room or quiet space in your hostel, or in your or at your home, so that you can study with full concentration, with full focus. Okay, and take your dinner maybe at 9:30, and after taking dinner, take a walk. Okay, have a walk for 20 to 30 minutes after dinner, and during that time listen to some audiobooks or podcasts or something light. Okay, you can have this habit of listening to something which is beneficial to you, which is beneficial to your career, or something soothing, something gives you calmness and quietness. Okay, uh, and then come back to your room and read some books. Okay, that may be self-help books. That will be good. If you study self-help books, then you will improve yourself as a person. Or if you have some studies left, you have to prepare for an exam or something like that, you can study for another hour or two, or whatever you need to study. And then before going to bed, write down your plan for the next day, what you should do in the next day, or what are your plans, how much you want to study. Okay, these things, just write down your plan and then go to bed. Okay, and don't forget to set your alarm clock, okay, at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Okay, now study tips. I have some study tips for you, that how should you study. Okay, what are the rules you should follow while studying, what are the techniques, what are the methods you should follow. So I found those things really helpful for my students, so you can follow these things as well. Study for at least 4 hours every day. Each day you should study at least 4 hours. Okay, so don't compromise with this habit until and unless it's absolutely necessary. Suppose you have to attend a marriage anniversary or something like that of a very close relative, then you can make an exemption. Okay, but until and unless it's absolutely necessary, don't compromise with that. Of course, study for at least 4 hours each day and make up for the lost hours the very next day. If you have lost for some reason an hour or two or full 4 hours, then try to make up these hours the very next day. Okay, and don't forget this thing. Then study 2 hours for an exam. So break these 4 hours down into 3 parts. Okay, so first study 2 hours for an exam due in the next morning. Suppose you have an exam in the morning of Monday. Okay, so on Sunday evening study 2 hours for that exam. Okay, and study the other 2 subjects 1 hour each. Okay, so suppose you have pharmacology exam, and then study for 2 hours pharmacology, and then 1 hour pathology and 1 hour microbiology, like that. And what should you do in your weekly holidays? In weekly holidays, I will say that take leave from study. So I would like to suggest you that you don't need to study on your weekdays, but you should take 2 hours for reviewing your previous week and planning your next week. Okay, just review your previous week, that how did you do in your previous week, how did you study, did you achieve your study goals, did you achieve your personal goals in that week. If you had not done that, what did go wrong with that? Okay, and then plan for your next week. What should you study in your next week? What should you do for personal improvement? How would you like to exercise in the next week? Things like that, just write those things down. Okay, now ways of learning effectively. The methods of studying: attend your lectures attentively. Okay, so while you are taking your lecture classes, just listen to your teachers very attentively. What do they say? Okay, and ask them questions if you are not clear about anything. They will be very happy to help you. Then refer to the textbooks if you have any confusion or if you need any further clarification. That means you have attended your lecture, and the night of that very day you are studying that lecture, or you are reviewing that lecture, and if you are not sure about anything, just refer to the textbooks. Look at your textbooks and try to understand those things. And still you have confusion, then ask your batch teacher. Probably he or she will try to figure that out for you. And for studying pharmacology, I have a few book recommendations here, because at your level you will not be able to study all of the pharmacology books, so you have to study methodically, and you have to study with conscience, right? So Basic and Clinical Pharmacology by Katzang is a very good book. You can use that book. Then Clinical Pharmacology by Bennett and Brown, and Lippincott's Illustrated Reviews. I would suggest these 3 books for you. And last of all, I have some self-help book recommendations for you. These books I have found tremendously useful, and you can read these books for your self-improvement. I would like to talk about Think and Grow Rich, which is written by Napoleon Hill, and as from the name you can assume that this book is about becoming rich. But this book is not only about becoming rich. This book is about achieving success. That may be monetary success, that may be spiritual success, that may be success in your relationships, or whatever it is. So if you follow the principles given in this book, you will be tremendously successful in whatever area you want to achieve success. Then I have a recommendation of Atomic Habits by James Clear, and in this book he has shown us that how tiny changes, small changes make big differences in your life. So if you try these habits in your life, that may bring big difference, very big success maybe in your later part of your life. Then the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This is also a very good book. If you practice these 7 habits, then I think you will improve yourself tremendously. So that's it. Hope you find this video helpful. Thank you.